Hi there, welcome to episode 30 of Book Read. We are going to meet a book read regular. He's amazing. He's just such a funny and lovely guy. His name is LEE Benson. If you've seen episodes 2, 11, 20 and 22, you've already met him and you already know how lovely he is. But do you know what? Let's go and chat to LEE. Do you know what? I recognise your face, but I can't quite place the name. It's like you've been on this show before. It's LEE Benson, everybody. How are you?
Jaden, it's so good to be back on your show. I'm absolutely radiant, thank you.
It's bloody wonderful to catch up with you again. Now, for those watching, now obviously by the end of the show you're going to be wanting not only checking out the book that we're talking about today, but also we have 4 more episodes. In fact, I can name this: number 2, number 11, number 20, number 22, and now number 30, all featuring beautiful delights of this young man on today's show. That's amazing, mate. You need to get like a bronze book read arrow or something as your 5th show, or the stickers where you get like the 6th one free or something like that.
Be on 5, get 1 free.
Yeah, that's the one. Tell us about.
Well, I've been writing. That's the thing. So you've been interviewing.
Well, it's nice to have some bloody time on your hands, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I give in. Yes, you're right. Yeah,
so tell us about today's book.
Today's book is a book which I always wanted to write, and it's a follow-on because it's actually, the subtitle is Book 4 of the Art Trilogy. I wrote a book called So You Want to Earn the Gallery, Where's Your Gallery Now, and Now You're the Artist, Deal With It. And it ends off with the artist and his new agent going off in like a good film in a car, woof, and goes. And the guy who used to publish me, Andrew, who doesn't publish me anymore, said, that's the end of the book. And I thought, no, it isn't. So it's been sitting quietly, festering in my head for 4 years, I think, since the last book came out, because I've done lots of children's books and poetry and all that stuff. And then this idea, I thought, I've got to write this. And I was originally calling it Reflections, because it gave me a chance to delve into the past about some of the stories that didn't go into the other books and bring it into a story. But I had no idea how to get it into a story. So I thought, I know, I've been to the Caribbean 3 times in my life, when I was young, when I was not so young, and when I was much older. And I mixed them all together and started a story about the artist thinking he's going to Edinburgh for a weekend, but goes on the plane and lands in the Caribbean. You don't know which island it is. I mean, I've been to Grenada, I've been to Antigua, I've been to Barbados, I've been to Eleuthera. You know Eleuthera, man? It's a lovely place. And I put them all together and use different places to do different things. And then this book just flew, and Lynn used to come in, my wife, she'd say, why are you laughing? I says, read this. And so she actually thought it was funny, which is a good sign. My wife says it's funny.
Yeah. Okay, they are your best critics after all.
And I could get away with, I thought, well, I'm going to have some fun here. There were some real stories that happened. I made up all the people. Everyone's made it. Whereas in my other books, actually reality, I had some people and I built stories around them. But I was able to put more of a story to this, more adventures, more problems, in including real things like nearly getting killed by a shark, falling out of a coconut tree, being on I was the most fabulous friend, had a 60th birthday on the catamaran. We had a fabulous time, and I've churned that into a drug-fueled coke party where everything goes, and the artist doesn't do drugs. You know, what do you mean you don't do snow? It's bloody hot out here. Why would we want to have snow? So turning it on its head, right. And then having several women chase him. So I have enjoyed it, and I gave it to DG Torrance, who's also been on your show, Dawn. Yeah. And I said, will you edit this? Will you go through it? And she rang me up, and you could hear her laughing. Now, when I interview her, she laughs because she has half a bottle of Prosecco. Well, 2 glasses. And she's funny. She rang me up laughing because of the book. She goes, it's the funniest thing I've ever read. I said, serious? Which is then nerve-wracking because it stands on its own. And I'm launching it on June the 1st in Birmingham. in Edgbaston, because I originally was from Birmingham and they used to have a gallery. So number 9 events, it was number 9, the gallery always used to have an event. I'm having an event this time, but I'm not paying for the booze. Yay! And with lots of people coming, and hopefully I'll sell lots of books. But it's called A Brush with Paradise, as opposed to Reflections, because that's, the artist is painting.
Yeah.
And lots of little tricks in it, because as much as I'm a real watercolorist, there's a picture which you're looking at there, which I sold. It's a nice one there of Majorca. I was able to take the fun out of the actual reality of the marketing game, the publishing game, and this and that and the other, and express myself as being not just a nice watercolorist, but able to have a revolution, let go. I'm a firstborn. You've got to be well behaved. And throw your toys out the pram. So I throw the toys out the pram, and this book ends where I've suddenly thought a couple of weeks ago, I was driving up to Manchester, there could be a book 5 of the art trilogy.
Sweet.
Yeah, which I didn't realise, but it's cleared the mind. I had a brain fog for a while, and it's sort of working. That's it. It's in the Caribbean. I've changed beautiful places to do. I made a mansion out of it's a monastery retreat hole in the middle of Barbados. It's beautiful.
Wow.
And this is where the artist's agent's dad owns the place. But he's either into drugs or guns or something big, and he's very wealthy. And lots of people come in and out of this place. So things happen to him. He nearly gets killed. He survives. He's thrown off a cliff. He's nearly killed by a shark. The chapter I'm going to read is where he falls out the tree. Now that really happened because I was in the Lutheran. We were on the beach, and there's lots of rum shacks, etc. And everyone gets on. It's lovely. And they were picking coconuts and chopping them in half with a massive machete, putting them into a bucket, condensed milk, and ice and gin. Shake it all up and drink it. Right, so you can imagine you have 3 large ones of those. It doesn't taste very alcoholic. And the guy says to me, "Come on, man, you white man, you climbed a tree." So I climbed a tree. And I'm saying, "Get the coconut," and I'm hanging on one coconut here, run on it. They both let go at the same time, and I fall out the tree, land on my back on the sand, holding these coconuts. Ugh! Like that. Oh. It didn't hurt for 2 days. It did hurt on the 3rd day, I have to say. And so I wrote that into a story and into one of the chapters.
And the man that sent you up the tree was Welsh?
Yeah, of course.
Got the tree in it, it's lovely.
Well, what's funnier, a couple of weeks ago, there's a lovely Caribbean lady. She's African by soul, Caribbean by birth, and Scottish by history. And she had there's a famous nightclub, a live venue called the Robin 2 in a place called Bilston in the Black Country. Next to it is this drop-in health welfare centre, well-being centre, sorry. And I was one of only 2 non-black people in this place, and everybody was lovely. And I said, "Look, my daughter told me off for trying to do patois, and I've written this poem which says, 'I am not a Rasta man.' Now I can do it. I am not a Rasta man. No, I can do it. I'm not a Rasta man. Which way would you like?" And they all said, "You can do it with your permission." So I did that, and I also read a chapter in here where all the locals are having an art class, and they're all taking the piss out of this artist somewhat hysterically. So "You want to paint? What colour's the tree? What colour you think a tree is? That sort of thing." And they loved it. I got a big up from a woman I think in her 80s. "What you doing later?" Thank you very much. It was, honest to God, it was fabulous. And it's just,
I love you being
life is about laughter, isn't it? And it's good fun. So in a way, you're taking
more now than ever.
More needed now than ever. With the world being so chaotic, you need laughter, you need fun, you need lots of love.
Yeah,
and you need to be with nice people. That's all it is.
I do like it when you come on my show. You do make my eyes water. I tell you, mate. I'm desperate to hear some of this book. Are you up for a book read?
If you'd like me to, yeah.
Laddie, get on. That'll be amazing.
Well, I'm going to read you, thankfully, thanks to Jaden, because he's marvellous, he really is, A Brush with Paradise, which is my latest book, which is book 4 of an art trilogy. But to sit it in its place, you're going to get a few words of the foreword, if you don't mind, because it does make it, make sense, really. So, once upon a time, what a good way to start, isn't it? Once upon a time, I set up an art gallery in the city of Birmingham at the turn of the last century. It was a lifestyle full of hilarious antics, and to this day, I am still in contact with many of the clients who still tell me that they missed the gallery. Believe it or not, I am still in touch with past members of staff and artists. Sadly, a fair few have joined the painting school in the sky. My gallery was forced to close in 2013, and in 2016 I began writing a story about a man who opened a gallery. It then had crazy customers, artists, staff, a lot of wine. Fun ensued, and I followed it with another story about a gallery being forced to close down, which did happen to me. Then a third book about becoming an artist. During my writing of the first book, my brother passed away, sadly, and the story became a place of solace for me. Then with book 2, my mother, bless her, passed away, and I was damned to let anyone check out from planet Earth through book 3. But in the back of my mind, I'd always felt that the trilogy was not complete. So I present book 4 of the art trilogy, as I believe Douglas Adams had done, although I don't believe he ever owned an art gallery or became an artist. This book is loosely based on my visits to different parts of the Caribbean over my life. A lot of imagination and fun has been added, and the odd drop of rum, to say the least. And I'm going to dive in to chapter 13 for you, which is called Walk on Water, Fly Like a Dead Duck. It's not very long, so hang with me. I ran upstairs and grabbed my swimming trunks and art bag, then took a leisurely walk down to the sea. There were plenty of places to swim, and the sea looked most inviting. She was a beautiful greenish blue and beckoned for me to swim. I strolled along the beach till I came to a cove with palms that surrounded the amphitheatre, which was hewed from weathered coral. The sand had a pinkish hue, which was formed by millions of insides of shells, battered and crushed in time by the tides. I placed my clothes and sketchbook on a rock and waded in. The water was as warm as a freshly run bath, and I swam straight out for about 4 minutes. I glanced down, and the bottom of the seabed was as clear as could be. There were small silvery fish that sparkled as they reflected the sun's rays. They darted back and forth in true Caribbean rush hour style, which was slow. I spotted a loose piece of coral and dived down to collect it. After a while, I turned back and began to leisurely backstroke towards the beach. Along the way, I flipped over and paddled water. Then I spotted someone on the edge of the outcrop. It was a chap in a pair of bright red shorts. He waved at me, so I waved back. Most of the islanders were so friendly to me, and as I came close to the beach, I heard him say something but couldn't quite make it out. He waved more furiously, and then I heard the word shark. Okay, so that was not the time to panic. Really? I suddenly had the power to walk on water and swam hell for leather, then splashed my way to the water's edge. I heard my heart pound through my ears. The chap ran up to me and shouted in my face, "What you doing swimming alone, you mad summit? That shark could have easily ripped your skin off. Never swim alone." In my best Welsh accent. "I hear you. Thank you. What sort of shark was it?" I tried to sound cool and calm, failed, and then shook his hand. He looked at me. "It's a shark, man. Me thinks you're a tourist. Not many tourists here in this cove. What you doing then?" "Oh, I'm staying further along with friends," I said, as I thought better of mentioning the mansion. "I'm on an artist working break." It sounded good. "Okay then, because my cousin here has a rum shop not far from here. You come with and we have rum and celebrate you're not dead." "Sounds good to me," I replied. "No more swim by yourself, listen?" "No more, I promise. Consider it done." "Do take me to your cousin's rum shop then." So we walked along the water's edge until we reached a wooden shack. It was emblazoned with the words "Billy Boys" in red, green, black and yellow. I assumed the chap who owned the joint was called Billy. There were several painted wooden barrels with old tall steel stools and strewn around the odd place, and outside the shack sat 4 semi-naked chaps, each with a drink in hand, and they were chatting away. As we arrived, they all stood up and the place went quiet. I pondered for a moment, then spoke up. "Drinks on me, chaps." It seemed like the most hospitable thing to do and sensible. The chatting resumed. Billy produced a bottle of golden rum and placed it on one of the barrels. Then he went inside and came out again with 6 glasses. He poured out large measures of the golden liquid and we all clinked glasses. Then another round, followed by another. And another. He think he Jesus Christ, 'cause him walked on water when shark chased his ass. They all laughed at me. I thought it was supposed to be a secret. I took a bow. Oh well, I survived, and ain't that lucky really, 'cause we've run out of rum. Billy, let's have another bottle of your finest. That rum sure had a kick. Well, more of a sneak-up squeeze and cuddle, and somewhat comforting, but ultimately very dangerous. Billy Boy decided we were all hungry. Behind the shack, he had set up an old oil drum and conjured up some magic. The jerk chicken sizzled and the smoked away, and it suddenly smelt mouth-wateringly good. He lifted the lid and looked pleased. Do you sound ready? He placed enough chicken for an army on a large, oval, slightly battered server and placed it on one of the wooden barrels. He gestured to me. Tuck in, you look hungry. I was, as he put it, hungry. In fact, I was famished. The rum had created a desire for food. I took a whole leg and a thigh piece and tucked in. It was divine, slightly hot, juicy, and incredibly Moorish. All the men did likewise, and for a while there was no chatter. Everyone just ate. Then from nowhere, Billy Boy produced a large tray of macaroni cheese and a giant bowl of coleslaw, and he put out some paper plates, and the feast continued. You ever picked coconut out of tree? Said one of the younger-looking chaps. I had to admit that it was a near impossible to guess the age of the islanders. They all looked young, even the men with greyish beards. Well, this chap looked in his mid-20s. He continued, Come on, let me show you how you do it. The rest of the laid-back rum and fodder-filled gang encouraged me on. The truth was out, due to the fact that I had never climbed a coconut palm tree before. From my recollections, there were certainly none to climb in Kew Gardens, or even at the Eden Project. So we walked to the chosen palm, and the young chap just jumped on the trunk and shinned up faster than a squirrel. He had a knife and cut out a few coconuts, then threw them to the sand. You can do it, encouraged Billy Boy. My rum-soaked mind agreed, as I miraculously held on tight and actually shinned my way up the trunk. However, when I reached the fruit and tried to pull one off, it refused to budge. I yanked harder, to no avail. Then I decided in my infinite stupidity to grab hold of a second coconut with my other hand. There I was, trying my best to pluck my plunder, when suddenly both nuts released their hold from the palm at the same time, and I fell flat on my back to the sand below. That rum was a saviour. One of the men stood over me with a huge grin and said, You fly like a dead duck. The coconuts rolled politely away, and I lay there winded. The laughter from my audience almost deserved an encore. Another man extended his arm and helped me up off the sand. Here, man, turn up. I was a hit. Somehow, I didn't seem to remember much about the walk back to the mansion. I did make it, though, and tenderly strolled into the poolside and collapsed on the sun lounger. After a while, the shock of the fall hit me like a sledgehammer. I wanted to call out, Ouch! My body had other words, nay, expletives to use. My head had failed to process the amount of rum, too. I tried to stand. Nothing. No response. Body said, no. Lucia, that was the housemaid, walked up to me. Why you not painting? You know, Lizzie told me to remind you to paint. I will, but not yet. I tried to sound calm, cool and collected. I failed miserably. She peered over me. Ha! Rum. You're drunk off rum and you smell bad. She sucked through her teeth and shook her head. I fell out of a palm. I tried to defend my state. Pointless. You fool, idiot. You deserve it. And she walked off. And I was left to lick my wounds and my pride, so it seemed. Later that evening, and well past the mosquito biting time, Lizzie asked me to sit down as she had something important to discuss. Lizzie was my agent. I was curious, perhaps. A solo exhibition? Somewhat really cool? I don't know. The sitting part was easy. I still ate. Look here, you. I can't have you falling out of trees and acting like a friggin' idiot. That was a good opener, she continued. Until we have the exhibition I'm planning, you will behave yourself. Oh, and by the way, nothing personal. I've decided no more bonking. For now, anyway. I said nothing at first. I just looked at her and then tilted my head to the side. No more bonking? What sort of statement is that? Lizzie stuck her tongue out at me. Simples. Sex is off the menu. We're professional. As from now, savvy? Serious? Just like that? I didn't bloody realise I was being amateurish all the time. Was I offended? I wasn't quite sure. Well, how about one last soiree then quits? It was worth a try. She was about to say something when Lucia joined in. You listen to Miss Lizzie. That's all she said, then turned and left again. She must have been earwigging all along. Right, so business as usual, no fringe benefits, and all work, eh? What a life. I need a drink. That evening, I slept alone in my room. Well, I say slept, but the pain was incredible, so I dozed once or twice. Then, not too subtly, I rolled around the bed to find a comfortable place to park my injured body, not forgetting my head. I blamed the rum. And that was chapter 13 of A Brush with Paradise by me, Lee Benson. Thank you for listening.
Oh my God, I got to be honest, you kind of left me at the hugest plate of chicken. It's Mexican dinner time.
Could you smell it?
I was just like, oh, what I wouldn't give for that now.
Proper jerk chicken, it's fabulous.
My goodness, you have no idea. I could really do that now. And that was amazing. That was really, I have still got a good few tears left in my eyes from quite a few parts of that read, to be fair.
The thing is, a lot of that actually happened. I mean, I read it was a nursery shark that nearly went.
But I love it how it's gone into like Carry On Coconut.
Yeah, that's it. Well, that's the whole point. It was fun, make it fun, but you still heard after the rum.
Yeah, no,
Rum was brilliant.
It went into. I was seeing Kenneth Williams and Hattie Jakes and stuff like that in this complete show.
What's he doing now?
No, stop it! No, that's Frankie Howard, isn't it? But yeah, no, I'm thinking this should be like a Carry On Coconut. You should pitch this to Ealing.
It would make a film.
It really would. Pitch it to Ealing Studios or wherever it was made.
And it actually is a story that you can start at the beginning, and it's not just anecdotes. Although someone said your book is full of anecdotes. Well, my gallery every day was an anecdote. Right. Every day something happened. It really wasn't just 9 to 5. It just ran 14 years. Yeah. And what I wrote was what happened, more or less. Changed names, so I couldn't get sued. Yeah. But a lot of it actually happened as it did. People would come in, things would happen. And so people enjoyed it, and one critic turned around and said, oh, it's far too anecdotal. I'm going to go, you have no idea of the life of a gallery owner, that's for certain.
Really?
And this has a story where there's undercurrents and there's lots of stuff going on. There's goodies, there's baddies, there's things happening, there's a bit of soul searching. There's also, I'm able to convey myself the art of what am I doing? Why am I doing this? Why aren't I just normal? Well, if you're creative, you're normal in the creative world, but in the 9 to 5 world, creative people are not normal.
I'm not normal.
And we're not seen as normal, are we, Jaden?
No,
you're just not.
Exactly. So I wouldn't want to be either to be. Well, actually, no. I think sometimes ignorance would be bliss. I think sometimes it would be really nice to be comfortable not being a creative, because when you're creative, you always need to be creating, and it's just
full-time job, 24/7. You're asleep and suddenly ding, something happens at 3 a.m. and you go back.
Great, get the pen.
You weren't meant to be normal. We're creatives are just, this is what we are. Deal with it. Took me years to get there, but I'm getting there. I'm trying.
Magical, mate. Magical and bloody funny. Obviously, it is advisable, kids and people are watching, that you do and go get the first 3 books as well, because then you will see the whole complete follow-on of this story. However,
one book, man. One book you can buy, man. It's called No Naked Walls, a trilogy. It's cheaper, much cheaper that way.
Including, that's the first 3, right?
First 3 are in one book now called No Naked Walls, because no wall should be naked. You should have pictures on them.
Amen to that. Oh, yeah, like a gallery here, to be fair. So, but if you wanted just to buy that book, could you... Well, you said it stands alone. It does stand alone as a story. You don't have to. It
stands alone, and it's available on that big shop in the sky, as my mum used to say, Amazon. It's just
Fantastic. out. Okay, and it's already out. But the launch is 1st of June.
Proper 1st June in Birmingham launch. Yes, I've got a few planned.
Right.
I beg your pardon. It's
better than the bloody I can't do Jamaican.
Yeah,
no, I can't do it.
Birmingham, you got to get it right.
Birmingham, yes.
It goes up. Black country goes down. It's all right. Birmingham goes up. That's the difference, you see.
All I do is I kind of block my nose a little bit.
It's not bad. You're getting there. It's like you just got out the water and all. I'm all bummed, you know. I'm right bummed.
I've never liked you. You're not funny. Anyway. So tell us again. Available Amazon now. Launch date 1st of June.
Yeah.
Up in Birmingham, up in Black Country. So if you're available, you'll also find details of this book on your websites and social media, I'm guessing.
Well, I've got a fabulous website. It's thecreativeleebenson.com. Ooh, proper new one. You got a new music, my music, my books, my poetry, other bits and bobs up there.
Okay, tell me one more time. What's it called?
Thecreativeleebenson.com.
The Creative Lee Benson.
Yeah, I think so. Or is it Lee Benson Creative? I'll tell you.
Okay.
I shall tell you now. I'll tell you now.
This is exclusive.
Yeah. It's a new one. I'm really happy with it because for years I had one when I had, it's thecreativeleebenson.com.
Oh, okay. I'm going to check this
Anyone can be Lee Benson, but the creative Lee Benson.
But not that creative. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, people at home, you've met him. Again, you love him. Obviously, please go to thecreativeleebenson.com and check out all of the plethora of talents this young man has. Don't forget to go. It probably is, I would say personally, to go and buy the first 3 books, get them sorted, get the backstory, and then A Brush with Paradise will obviously just top it off nicely with a bit of chuckling on your hour.
And if anybody wants to make a film of this one, Jaden, let me know. I'll cut you in. Because this would stand as a great film. It really would.
Absolutely.
Carry on.
Well, from your mouth to the Lord's ears, quite frankly.
There you go.
Let's make that happen. As long as I get involved, if I've got any part to play in this, I either want to...
I'll have to find you a role, won't I?
Or I don't mind doing a little bit of the soundtrack.
Yeah, you can do the theme tune like the James Bond. You've got to have somebody good singing, so I'd love to get you doing get a song.
Lee Benson. I think, there's got to be some other books. I can't wait for you to come back on my show, quite frankly, because I do enjoy our little meets. Bloody wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing A Brush of Paradise with me today and with all my 6 viewers, a whippet and a ferret as well, included in that 6. And we are in touch, and I will see you again very soon.
Indeed. Thank you for having me on your show. It's
more than a pleasure, mate. You take care. See you later.
Cheers.
Bye-bye. He does make me laugh. I do love Lee Benson. He's such a funny fella. He's just so super talented and so super lovely. Please go and support him on his social media. Definitely go and buy his book on Amazon. You won't regret it. I bet it is even funnier when you read it in its complete form. I can't wait to read it. And I will see you on the next episode of Book Read. Take care, kids. See you later. Bye-bye.